Orion the owl lived in a cozy tree hole in the heart of an enchanting dream forest. As night fell, he spread his wings and took flight, eager to explore the nocturnal wonderland around him. The soft rustling of leaves underfoot guided Orion through the moonlit woods. Suddenly, he spotted a group of glowworms swaying in a nearby tree branch. Their gentle light mesmerized him, and he couldn't help but marvel at their beauty. As Orion watched, a gentle breeze blew across the forest floor, causing the trees to sway back and forth like dancers in a grand ballroom. The owl felt himself getting sleepy, lulled by the soothing sounds of nature all around him. A chorus of crickets began to sing their evening song, accompanied by the distant hooting of other owls. Orion realized that every creature in this magical forest had a role to play in its symphony. Even though he was small and didn't make much noise, his presence was important too. Feeling content and at peace with the world, Orion fluttered back to his tree hole, ready for a good night's sleep. As he snuggled into his soft feather bed, he whispered to himself, "Tomorrow is another adventure in this wonderful dream forest." And with that thought, he fell fast asleep. Orion slept soundly through the night, undisturbed by the occasional hoot of a distant owl or the rustling of leaves in the wind. When morning dawned, he awoke feeling refreshed and ready for another adventure in his beloved dream forest. As he stretched his wings and took flight once more, Orion marveled at how different the forest looked in the daytime. The trees were bathed in sunlight, casting long shadows on the ground beneath them. The air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers and the buzzing of insects. Orion spotted a group of deer grazing in a clearing nearby, their soft hooves padding against the earth. He watched as they frolicked together, playing tag and chasing each other through the grass. The owl couldn't help but smile at their playfulness. As the day wore on, Orion found himself drawn to a babbling brook that flowed through the forest. Its soothing sound was like music to his ears, and he spent hours perched on a nearby rock, listening to the water flow by. Feeling satisfied with his day's explorations, Orion flew back to his tree hole just as the sun began to set. Once again, he felt grateful for this enchanting dream forest and the many wonders it held. And as he drifted off to sleep, he knew that tomorrow would bring even more adventures, each one unique and special in its own way. /IM end. Orion's curiosity led him to explore the depths of the forest, where he discovered a hidden glade filled with colorful butterflies flitting from flower to flower. Their delicate wings shimmered in the sunlight as they danced through the air. As Orion watched, mesmerized, he noticed a stream flowing nearby, its crystal clear water gently lapping against smooth rocks. He decided to follow it, wondering where it might lead him. The owl flew over a small waterfall and found himself in an entirely new section of the forest. The trees here were taller and older, their branches forming a canopy overhead that blocked out most of the sunlight. The air was cool and damp, and Orion could hear the rustling of leaves underfoot. Suddenly, he heard a soft, chirping sound coming from somewhere nearby. Following the sound, he spotted a small bird's nest in the crook of a tree branch. In the nest, 3 tiny eggs were hatching. Orion watched in awe as the baby birds pecked their way out of their shells, their cute little beaks opening and closing like tiny mouths. As he watched the baby birds grow stronger by the minute, Orion realized that every creature in this magical forest played an important role. Even though he was small and didn't make much noise, his presence was just as significant as the other animals he had encountered throughout his adventures. Feeling content and grateful for the wonders of nature all around him, Orion flew back to his tree hole, ready for a good night's sleep. As he settled into his soft feather bed, he whispered to himself, "Tomorrow is another day in this enchanting dream forest." And with that thought, he drifted off to sleep, lulled by the soothing sounds of the night. /IM end. As Orion flew over the forest, he couldn't help but marvel at how different it looked during the day. The trees were bathed in sunlight, casting long shadows on the ground beneath them. He could hear the rustling of leaves underfoot and the occasional chirping of birds. Feeling curious and adventurous, Orion decided to explore further. His keen eyes spotted a group of squirrels scampering up a nearby tree trunk, their fluffy tails twitching excitedly. As he watched them play tag among the branches, he realized that every creature in this enchanting forest had its own unique role to play. Suddenly, Orion heard the distant rumbling of thunder. Looking up at the clouds, he noticed they were dark and ominous, signaling an approaching storm. Feeling a twinge of anxiety, he flew back towards his tree hole, hoping to avoid any danger. The rain began to fall soon after, pounding against the leaves and turning the forest floor into a muddy mess. Orion found shelter under a large oak tree, watching as the storm raged on around him. Despite the chaos, he felt strangely calm and at peace. He knew that after the storm, the sun would shine brightly once more, washing away any traces of the turmoil. As the rain slowed down to a gentle patter, Orion took flight again, ready to explore the post-storm wonderland. He noticed how different everything looked. The trees were glistening with raindrops, and puddles had formed in the dips of the forest floor. The air was fresh and crisp, filled with the sweet scent of wet leaves and damp earth. Orion spotted a patch of wildflowers blooming near a babbling brook, their vibrant colors standing out against the green backdrop. He fluttered down to investigate, marveling at how resilient they were, surviving even the harshest storms. Feeling satisfied with his day's explorations, Orion flew back to his tree hole just as the sun began to set. Once again, he felt grateful for this enchanting dream forest and the many wonders it held. And as he drifted off to sleep, he knew that tomorrow would bring even more adventures, each one unique and special in its own way. /IM end.